First year of marriage. First year of marriage. Okay.
Yo.
Before we got married.
I've been feeling this way since we hooked up.
I ain't walking away no matter what.
Tell me what you're fighting for, and I will fight with you. Cause this is our love story. This is our journey. This is our love story. This is our journey.
Well, first of all, my father-in-law shocked me with the venue that he had booked for us to get married in. I understand I earned, well, my retainer was 350 rands a month. My car payment was 345 rands a month. So I had 5 rands left. I had 8 guitars. And then this man goes to book the Carlton Hotel, top of the Carlton. And
I'm the
she's the
eldest, you know, so I'm the first daughter, first child, and so of course my father, like any father, would have wanted to do the best. You know, there were not all of these beautiful wedding venues that you have today. So it would have been a hotel or, you know, a place like that, or it could have been where we come from, where you have it in the church hall, the
and
the
all
reception,
the aunties bring something,
you
and
know,
everyone
and that
bring
kind of thing. And my father was not going to have my mother, who was an excellent cook, do the cooking, and the aunties do the cooking and all of that. He was not going to do that. So the idea was for us to have a wedding where we could literally go and sit down, you know, and enjoy.
So it was a great event. We invited 300
Well, we had 350 confirmed
and 470 arrived.
after that as well.
Gate crashed and all of that. Anyway, we never ate that night. But the beautiful part about that night was Trisha and I were both virgins. We were in the VIP suite, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember breaking out in tears of not knowing how to do sex.
I love how you say how to do sex.
And of course it was our first time. She was a virgin, I was a virgin, but I felt a holy, holy moment there. That described to me what we went into. It's called holy matrimony. And when blood is shed, there's something that happens in the supernatural, in the spiritual, and that is what I only can explain it now. Then I thought, surely, you know, all the information you pick up from your friends about it's like this, and I said, but it's so. Anyway, but that is what I remembered, you know, my giving of my virginity over to her, and my receiving of her virginity then. And up to this day, we were the only partners that we've had since. We've never had other sexual partners. And, you know, it comes to us, it's offered to us, but I keep going back to this girl.
We met in Jan, and for February and March, we probably went on 1 or 2 dates because I was working as a regional auditor, so I was traveling a lot. So we literally never saw each other. She had rehearsals for the Easter. So when she went to see my mom, it's after I had done with my first quarter traveling, and she was done with the Easter whatever that they were doing there. So that's when we actually got to start spending time together. But even then, you didn't have, you know, a good gap to actually spend time, because then we are looking at the 5th of June, the uncles must go and pay lobola. So everything, and now we had to speak to the pastor, and we had to do, what do they call it, a blitz, marriage counseling, because marriage counseling is usually very long.
Takes long.
And with us, they had a very short time. We were trying to squeeze into their calendar. So it was very hectic. Then
And
June,
they don't believe you also.
Yeah,
they're thinking
what's
they thought
happening?
I was pregnant, actually.
Yeah, well, yeah. They waited for the baby. They
They've
waited.
been-
So June we paid lobola. I wanted to get married in July, but Umame Zala asked ukuthi, no, can we make it August, because she had already put in leave for August, and where she works it's difficult to move these things around. I was like, okay, no, it's fine. So August we got married. We had a white wedding, and then we had a wedding over 2 days, and then they brought her Giti Esumakoti,
And then
and that was a Sunday. And then Monday morning, I was out to the airport. I had to go work Eastern Cape for the whole week. So she automatically, Giti, we don't do those things of kotisana, but automatically she had to go to akotise because she stayed there for the week.
Before we got married, he lived at Makanudo in Roodepoort.
Yeah.
So we made a decision to not to rent. We made a decision to, because at Ekaya there's rooms outside, so I suggested to him, I actually don't like it for us to rent because it's a waste of money. We've got rooms at home, how about we go live at home? So our first, it wasn't even first year, we stayed there for 7 years.
7 years, yeah.
We stayed there for 7 years.
Ngihlala ebukhweni emarumini.
First few months of being married. Babe, do you want to take this one?
No, I've got a bigger story.
You got a bigger story?
I want to
All
hear.
right.
I want to
I'll be
hear
honest.
your first few months of marriage.
Let's
hear this.
It's been a roller coaster, to be honest. We've been together for what? It's 8 years. We're going on 9 this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's been all good and fair in 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Dating, life, But being married now, living under one roof, because we're starting to live together.
Yeah.
Sure, getting used to the habits, good and bad habits.
Yeah.
Her adjusting to my moods and me adjusting to her moods. It's been a challenge.
Yeah.
It's fun though, I must say. It's the best thing to wake up next to your best friend and come on, we can stay up all night. We can do so much in the morning. We can go run. We can go to gym together. We can do so much together. So it's been good. It's been great.
Actually, my answer's not so different.
Yeah, you see, exactly.
It's not so
Now you make me go first.
It's so different from
You're
yours.
always running away.
Yeah, no, true. Getting married, having dated for 8 years is amazing. But the problem is that we didn't stay together. And that's what I said to him. I was like, I wish you would have stayed like by yourself for a year. Because I did kind of stay by myself when I was back at 43 training. So I was like, I wish you had like a little bit of just by your alone side. Yeah, like a bachelor time.
Why?
Just for yourself. So that
But
you
why?
can learn how to do small like domestic
But
things.
I'm the last born in the house.
Exactly,
I'm
and
used
that is
to
my
being
problem.
catered for.
And that's my problem is that I'm like the firstborn, so I'm like very strict,
So
very
it works.
organized.
So it works.
And he, on the other hand, is very chill, laid back,
Exactly, so
last
it works.
born. It's a lot. It's a lot transition for a woman because you have to cook, you have to do washing, you have to do everything. You have to do a lot. So it's a big transition, but otherwise, it is still great.
But you're doing
Getting
well.
married
You're doing well, I must say. I'm proud of you.
and living together is still great. Yeah, the different personalities and the unlearning of habits is the toughest
very
part of
difficult.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, coming in from having been married before, I kind of knew the ups and downs that one faces on a regular basis. And I said to Antoinette, when we do this thing, I want to do it differently to my first time. I don't want to do sad and unhappy. And that normal kind of bickering that you have in the beginning, and it's all petty. I said, I don't do petty. Okay, we don't sweat the small stuff. Let's go. If we're gonna fight, let's make it a solid one. Let's wait for the big stuff. And we always just find that it's not worth it. We would laugh. It's like, no, we're not gonna be. We're not gonna. So, and that's pretty much where we're at even now. And what, 11 years?
12 this year.
12 this year, November, it's 12 years. And that is how we live our lives.
It was very, very interesting because in that year we went on honeymoon. We went to Europe. We did about.
But you earned 435.
No, we didn't go on honeymoon. Don't say it was honeymoon.
Yes, I'm trying to explain here. Of course, my being an artist, you take the opportunity to include the honeymoon. So I was booked to go on tour with 5 or 6 other South African artists, starting at Christian Artist Festival in De Bron in Holland, and then we were booked in 5 or 6 other countries around Europe, and I was the team leader. So I keep saying we were on honeymoon with 6 other people on tour with us. So it was a gospel honeymoon. And we still married.
The first year was a bit tricky because it's our first time living together. It's at home. My mom is right outside the door. It kind of affected a lot of things,
Yeah.
It affected a
But
lot
I
of
think
things.
the issue with first year is the perception of marriage all together. As a man and as a woman, You get shocked when you move in, like, oh, okay, so I gotta do the dishes too. Because growing up at home, but
Yeah.
so they are planting that seed in us. Which only when you get to your house, you'll do whatever you want. So in my mind, okay, when I get home
we
to my
fought a
place,
lot
I just want a remote.
over dishes.
I mean, I had a laptop then. I just watched series throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
I would just move. I'm a movie guy, like deep till today. Like I like relaxing. I don't like strife. I don't want to be bothered, because I'm pulling my weight. I'm bringing the bacon. I'm good. So even if I do help, it just wanna. So it was more, you know, the chores in the house, the helping,
finding our way around.
finding our way around, and
because the thing is, I grew up in a place where Ukoko, everybody cleans, everybody washes dishes. Even now, my uncles, when they come back from work to come visit at grandmother's house, they still clean. And now I'm meeting this guy. He
no, I do
doesn't
clean.
wash
That's not
dishes.
true. I do clean, but in my own time. And pace.
And I
so not
needed
when
him
she
to be there
expects me
every
to do
day.
it. Like for her it was, look, hey, we eat every day,
we
there's
eat every
dishes
day,
every day.
so-
And for me it's like, I'm just trying to relax, you know, chill. Like for me it was like, you know what, come here, let's spend time. We'll wash the dishes tomorrow. Or the next week, it's just the two of us here, no one is coming in here. So for her it's like, no, we can spend time, but let's and my
clean
biggest problem is she cleans the whole day. And for me it's like, hey, I need you. You just got married, my blood is flowing, yo. We gotta, let's do something. And for her it's like, yo, I gotta clean. And I think that's finding that footing to say, look, I don't care if the house is dirty as long as me and you are good. So for her it's like, no, I want us to be good, but let's first. But when we first do this, by the time it's 9 o'clock already in the evening, the kids are back, the homeworks, there's so much going on, you know. So first year was kind of finding footing, you know, in terms of how to, even though we didn't get it right the first year.
It took a couple of years
Yeah,
before
a
we
couple
could
of years.
actually get along in that area. But we used to fight a lot over chores, you know.
And sex.
On the day he was flying back, I was ready, like 6 a.m. I was up, ready. I'm like, Ma, I'm leaving. He's like, what's your things? I'm like, no, even you so figure because I was like, no, I have to go. I mean, he was not there. It was actually the most difficult days of my life where I have to be with a new family that I didn't know, and he's not there, and yeah, I'm just a makoti. You're not sure whether you have Mina foot. I'm not a morning person. I would like sleep, but now I had my mom literally, because she knows that girl can sleep. So my mom would actually wake me up every morning to say, Fuga, you know, so that ungalali in someone's house.
Yeah, it's tough to
go
be a
and
woman.
it's really tough. But the first year, the first year was us like learning each other. It was difficult also. We didn't even have an eye. I remember when we were opening our gifts.
Yeah, we literally were opening gifts to check what do we
who bought
have.
us an eye, because he was going to work the following day. So it was like, it was hectic. Like the first year was.
Yeah, the first year you actually think those people were right, you know. You're like, this thing, it's overrated.
And you think
maybe we shouldn't have.
Really?
Yeah,
You did get to a point where you just like question, did we make the right decision?
No, it gets that tough to a point that, okay, maybe we should have like done a get to know each other, then maybe decide to say, is this right person? Is it, you know, date a bit, maybe go out for a year, figure out, are you really, really comfortable and but somewhere in there, you know, you adapt. You adapt and you learn a whole lot of other things about yourself that you didn't know. Because I've never done like Ifaten said. She's the only girl I've ever taken Giti, you know. Figure Giti, like I'm sure Wakabang Guti, what. But she's the only one in Tatile Ngamleta Guti, no. Nangu Makoti. I've never had girlfriends in my parents' yard. So yeah, it's no, but it was tough, but you get through it, you get to know each other, you have fun, and you grow stronger year on year, and next thing you know, you've got the 14th of Lentuzana, August, they are now back. It's a reminder to say happy anniversary. Then
Yeah.
you actually see, wow, we've actually
made it.
survived.
I love to kiss her. And in this first, just now after the Christmas, was after the Christmas time, we're getting ready to go over. I see her starting to move her face from me. I thought, now, what is this? I can't be having marriage problems in my first year of marriage, you know. So I said, what's with this? Every time I want to kiss you, she said, your breath smells. So I inspected and I thought, okay, there's a rotten tooth. And as soon as I dealt with that rotten tooth, you know, I could have her face turned towards me again.
My expectation is, yo, we will be killing it. Not even every day, maybe 2-3 times a day. Like my blood is really warm, like I'm that guy. And I realized, flip, no, it's not like that. Actually, it's like a rude awakening. It's like, oh. And now I find out sex starts in the morning. I didn't even know. All of a sudden, sex starts with an SMS. It's new things to me. It's like, what? I mean, we're not married. We used to. I mean, when we lived in Makanudo, we just have sex in the morning. We go to the mall, come back, have sex.
And Galop,
go
I didn't
eat,
live
have
with
sex.
him. So it's different when you don't live together.
I don't know that. I'm not even thinking.
To raise together.
I mean, we used to go at it like, and all of a sudden, no, I'm not ready. I gotta wash dishes. I'm tired. My mom is outside. I'm like, so what?
Yeah, no, that was so uncomfortable for me. Like,
So I'm grumpy half the time. Now she wants me to help, but I'm grumpy. I'm like, yo, let's do something. I'll do whatever. I don't know if she noticed or not. Every time I got something, I just wake up, clean, do whatever. But not like, okay. There was a lot going on, man. Yeah.
I'm excited to let you guys know that the Marion Hotel will be giving one night away to a lucky couple. This includes a night at the Marion Hotel, a spa date, and a dinner date for 2. How to enter? Make sure that you like their page on Facebook, follow them on Instagram, the Marion on Nicole, and then take a video with your partner if he or she agrees, telling us why you deserve a date at the Marion, and also who your favorite couple is of Our Love Journey Season 2. Use the hashtag romance at the Marion and then tag me and make sure you tag the Marion on Nicole. All the best. Competition ends on the 13th of February.
Being a pilot and her having trained during our 8 years of dating, and she had to be away for a couple of years, I don't know if it was 2-3 years, in and out of Joburg, and you were all the way that side. Where were you? Eastern Cape?
Eastern Cape.
That was tough. Long distance relationships, yeah, I've never done that. It was the first for me. So that was tough, but we endured it, and I had to adjust and learn that, you know what, this is her career, it's a passion. I need to support my love. I need to be there for her. Make sure that you reach your dreams, and I'll be your co-pilot. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
For me, it was when we found out she's pregnant with TJ, because I didn't want any more children. And we both decided we don't want kids, because we've got kids and we're happy with our boys. We love our home and our lives. And she just started her own business. And it was just taken off. And me being a full-time musician, you know, and we had just moved into a house. We had just bought a new car. And then this pregnancy, that was a big thing for me. And I saw it as a challenge. I thought, God is challenging me, but he's going to make it go away, because he's not going to punish me like that with another kid. That's honestly, that is how I saw it. Because he knew, God knew at that time we can't afford it. And I mean, it's like, you know, we had just started the company. Anyway, we had to close the company down because we lost clients and all of that. And that was a challenging time for me. But even in that, I don't know how much time you have, but even that there was a whole lot of stuff that happened that God showed us, I'm going to be there for you every step of the way. And I look back at that time and I think, wow, God has been amazing, even in that situation. But to answer your question, that was a real challenge for me.
We've had challenges. I think we just managed to...
Like we are challenges. Like, like I think I wanna... We can be honest, right? So Yeah, I think we are challenges at this point. Like we've been in a challenge period for about 7 to 8 years.
Yeah.
I mean, financially, and finances has been more an issue because we are musicians.
Yeah.
So it kind of gave birth to all of the other ones, and it's just been a challenge just because money is not, we can't really, God has been good. Like the other week I was just sitting at home and I came to her and I said, God has been good. I see people are complaining about 2019, but when I look back, when I count what God has done for us. So, and another thing, I'm a different kind of a guy. So finances has been like, because
challenge.
if there's a time where I just slammed the door and left home was when we spoke about money. There was one time where she said, you are messing up my life. As before I was paying everything on time, no bills. You are just messing up my life. In my mind, I'm thinking, look, I'm taking us to the next level. Honestly speaking, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, look, we're pushing and there's no other way. We cannot go to the next level if we're too safe. I'm a risky guy. That's how I grew up. Like, look at home, no one works. Like all my brothers, nobody works, just the older guy. Well, I guess it's different. But how we grew up, my dad is just a hustler. So I just grew up hustling. I just know we need to hustle, do something. So you try this one, it works. You try that one, it doesn't work. So that one leaves you with a debt. That one leaves you with... And I mean, I was telling you last year that, you know what, we took on so many big projects for a young couple. And over it takes people 20, 30 years. I mean, look, we built a house from scratch. That's a huge project. We had to build a career from nothing, no sponsorship, nothing. And I said to her, look, it's a pretty successful career from having nothing. And now we started a church 2 years ago. That's another huge project. So all of these projects are taking so much away from us.
It started rocky.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even before we actually got married, purely just in the perspective of family. So there was this perspective of, listen, people that you thought sort of had your back, sort of supported you guys, wanted this for you. Now all of a sudden, leading up to the actual, closer to the days, it's like, okay, now people are turning on you. So, I mean, there was a lot of, now, let's say that our marriage getting tested before we're actually married. That, listen, are you going to allow your family to sort of dictate what needs to happen or should happen? Or are you going to be actually standing your ground and saying that, listen, guys, this is my wife. This is how things should be done. Whatever anybody else is thinking or what sort of objective that you have, raise it with me. But whatever you have got to say, it's come through to me when it's got to do with my wife. So with that being said, my family actually was quite divided. That there was people that, I mean, it was with my aunt that we had the argument, and it was just purely from that day that the family just literally got divided. Whereas me standing up for my wife and saying this is what's right definitely was not something that she wanted to hear. So yeah, from there on, we had to get closer and know that, well, for me it was more showing Yolanda that when I said that I want to marry you, it's for the long haul. In this relationship, in this marriage, it's the two of us and Christ, nobody else. And before even us getting married, I fortunately had to prove that. And if I had to do it again, I would change nothing.
Yeah, I will probably harp back to finances. Not that it tore us apart or would push us apart. It would be more the fact that it was a stress issue right through our marriage.
Never having liquid cash to do what we need to do.
You see, we live by faith, as you would call it.
Yeah.
There's no set salary.
We don't draw salary from
anywhere. And Trevor does not set a charge wherever he goes.
I'm one of those artists.
Yeah, he doesn't set a charge, and he's been blessed, if you want to say it in that context, or he's been taken well care of in some occasions, and on some occasions not.
Take it for a ride.
And so, so that would have been the pressure. We have 3 kids. We, that we had to put through school and through life, really. And so that was probably for me the toughest. And the reason why I'm saying it didn't pull us apart is he's like this big faith guy. He just like has this faith and trust that the Lord's going to come through. I have it too. I'm not as bold or outspoken as he is. So I think he would be saying constantly, it's going to be okay. We're going to get through it, and the Lord will provide.
And he has.
And he has, yes. But it will still be like, it's pie in the sky almost at times, even though I've seen my parents come through with the Lord has provided for us as a family. But for me, it was tough. And Trevor's a very generous person, over generous.
Money don't last with me.
Yeah, and
money comes through me.
I don't believe I'm stingy. I'm a lot more of a planner and an organizer in a sense, but he will not hesitate to give of himself, time, money, and even at our lowest financial points, he would still give to the detriment of us, myself and the children.
That's what you call a sacrificial giving.
Who made the sacrifice? We did. So I think that is the point of where it was tough. I've matured, I've grown, and I could say that maybe he's won me over, but God has also, shown me over and over how he's come through. And today our children live by what they'd seen, how God had come through.
Things haven't been 100% the same. Well, let me even say not even 50% the same. I don't, like family-wise, of course, and having met Lwazi from day one, he made it very clear how close he is with family, which is why we want so many kids. But also, I saw his love for his family. Obviously, during courtship, engagement, lobola, all of those times you see a person and how they are, how they treat their mom, how they treat their family, their aunts, their uncles, the respect that they have. To see the divide, definitely, I don't think it affected our marriage as much as it did, I think, the family as a whole. But now I look back with the child and I'm like, yeah, it's real. They don't know our son. It's real. When I think about it like that now, I'm like, actually, in the first year, things may have been a lot lighter. I think we took it a little bit light in a sense, like, oh, it's okay, But now when I look back, it wasn't okay. Probably because, December as well. My first time going and being a real makoti. Things got real, but again, I think we just took it with like a pinch of salt, and we were like, okay, let's get over it. Life goes on. And we were also looking forward to being new parents. We moved on, but now I look back and I'm like, actually, our first year of marriage started with a very rocky start. And one of the pillars that one needs in marriage, strong marriage, is not, yes, it is made of you, your husband, and Christ being first, but the people around you as well become the cushion. They become the people you reach out to. I remember even when we were sending Faze's pictures, you do expect everyone to be happy for you. So yeah, I look back and I'm like, that was part of the latter end of our first year of marriage, and it wasn't nice. It wasn't nice, yeah.
When we had our son Joshua, I think that experience for us was like, I don't wish for anyone to actually go through that experience or us reliving the experience, because it was quite the longest experience of our lives. Like, it was like a dream, because I gave birth when I was only 6 months pregnant. And when you like feeling you know, when you've been pregnant before, the next time you're not taking every step as serious as you would in the first, because you're thinking, maybe the baby is turning. And I'm like, maybe the baby is turning. When I started having contractions, and I'm like telling him, but I'm like not actually worried, because I'm thinking, no, it happened before. Maybe we're just going through that process. Until we went to the doctor. When we got to the following day, I slept actually. The following day when we went, we get there, because he's like, no, let's go. If you're actually not feeling well, it's 2 days now, let's go. When we get there, we didn't have an appointment. Also, the line is long, and because they had an appointment that day, and he's like, no, I'm gonna see you. I'm like, I'm feeling a bit better. Maybe let's go home, because I'm feeling maybe when I'm home, I'm better than when I'm here. And then to a stage where the contractions started like coming really hard. And then it was a case of an emergency. 2 minutes I'm in a wheelchair. The next minute is like really hectic. Everyone in the hospital is like gathering around us, trying. The doctor is coming to stop the contractions. It was like a dream. Everything literally happened so quick. When she came, she's like checking up on me. She's like, you're giving birth? I'm like, yeah? No, it's like 6 months. Like, no, you actually giving birth. Let me try and stop the contractions. We'll see in an hour. She tries, and then she's like, no, this baby is coming. Like, baby coming? No, you're gonna have a C-section. You're going on theater. I'm like, now? And it's like 10 o'clock. I think we went at 10. So it was really quick, where even the family, you can't even call everyone to say, Ma, or, you know, I'm giving birth, like telling everyone. It was really like a dream. I think I don't want to relive that experience and that moment. But God being God, you know, we went to the theater. I remember the funniest thing happened there, because it was so quick. When we got to the theater, that's me there sleep. You know, when you're in a theater, you're thinking literally you're dying, because there's like the lights are on, you're like up, it's everyone around you, because it's an emergency. And a song starts playing. It's playing, it's a gospel song playing at the background, right? I can hear the song, and I'm like, hi man, that's my voice. I'm thinking, am I in heaven? Because now, injection and everything, I'm thinking, no, I'm dead. I'm actually gone. Because the song is playing at the background. I'm like, and then the baby comes out. You know, you can't even hold the baby. And I'm just depending on him to say he's looking and seeing if everything's happening. He's also scared, because I was only imagining what he's going through now on his own, and we couldn't even get a chance of discussing to say, it's just, we're doing it now. We have to do it now. That's it. We can't even, you are signing documents to say, no, let's do it. It was a life-changing moment and an experience. And the fact that you can't even hold the baby, you know, it was just bad.
I mean, there was a time when we used to live in Tsakane, when we still lived there, with no petrol to take them to school. Get to school, sit there, because we don't have petrol to go home. We don't have food. We had to go sit in the car until 2 o'clock, and then no. And then we had to drive back home with the light, and we go to school.
Yes.
We also go to school with the kids. I mean, it happened for a while.
Yeah, I tell you.
But, you know, God has kept us through that. And then we are trying to do this. You know, it's been
like, let me tell you something. I've enjoyed.
Don't cry.
I love that now. I mean, in that means I'm actually getting emotional. But now you guys are.
No. But here's the thing, we've always been like that. Yeah. Even in that. I mean, there was a time when we used to laugh when a guy comes to repossess the car. Yeah. And I'd say to this guy, look, hey, you're just wasting your time, but just leave the car. I'm going to come fetch the car. And at that time, it's not like I've got something planned. There's a check coming, there's a job. It's just totally depending on God. Like, God, if you don't come through, nobody else will. Yeah. This is all we have. We don't go to Esnyangeni. We don't try nothing else. Yeah. If it's not prayer, it's your word.
Yeah.
We believe only in these things. So if this doesn't work, we've got nothing else.
Yeah.
So even if we go, even we taught, I mean, I remember there was a time our kids, we couldn't even afford to put anything in their bread. They used to take it and take it to school. To a point where when God took us out of it, I remember my daughter didn't want polony or anything because it messes up the bread. And I taught them a wish sandwich. I said, kids, you gotta learn to have a wish sandwich. So it's whatever you wish. Whatever you wish in there, that's what's there. So, so it's my kids know what a wish sandwich is because of what we went through. And I remember when we started being okay and putting, she would take the cheese out and she would literally cry like, you're messing up my bread. I just want my wish sandwich because it tastes like whatever I see in my mind. I mean, that's where we've been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that too. Like it's been.
I think,
Jeez.
After a month
No, more like 6.
or 6.
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Yeah.
6, maybe 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And when the baby comes out, it actually, you see from a distance, you know, you're thinking, okay, the baby is fine. Baby looks fine. But you only realize when you come and look at the baby up close that he's only this big.
Like, yeah, like this.
Like with distance, stress, like I think stress and fear, they just confuse your eyes. You're looking like, okay, there's a baby. Baby is crying. Then it means he's good. And then you come to the NNICU and then you see the baby and the baby is literally this big. And then that's when you realize to say, okay.
Like, yeah.
This is new. I remember we went and saw the baby for like probably 10 seconds. And then I took her back to her bed to rest. In the evening, the sisters in NNICU called us to say, no, come in, see the baby. When we went there, he had this transparent raincoat. So in the morning, he was fine. He was just there, you know, with tubes and stuff, and it was fine, okay. We come back, he's wearing this transparent raincoat. And we just look at him one like,
No,
he's dying.
He's dying.
No, we just decided, and it's before the nurse even came. We just looked at it and we're like, damn, he's gone, this one. Why does he have now all these
Like
funny
raincoat
things?
and
Not knowing what it's just for, he was feeling cold.
he was like, to keep
So
him
that's
warm.
to keep his temperature warm. But yeah, I think it was even more tough because we had a miscarriage 2 years before that. She actually had to give birth to a dead baby.
Yeah.
So that was very hectic, emotionally and otherwise. So going through the same thing with this one. But now this one was here alive, but now we are not sure. Even the nurses, I'm not sure if it's hospital protocol, they protect themselves. They always tell you, no, we take it
one day
at a time. And at that point in time, we were going through a transition of poverty. We were not working.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I had quit my job to go into business. But now this is when this thing happened. And now for 2 full months, every day without fail, all we were doing is taking our daughter to school, going to hospital, going to the shops to buy nappies, and coming back, pick up the daughter, go back to hospital, then go home.
This is our love story.